Morning everyone. This is your subject physical education for class 11th. We will be continuing with chapter number 2, which is Olympics value education, and we are going to start with lecture number 4 today. And in this lecture we are also going to discuss the answers of questions from lecture number 3. So we are going to start with a new subtopic, which is 2.3 International Olympic Committee. The International Olympic Committee IOC is the governing body of the modern Olympic Games. So IOC is the committee which governs all the games and sports, all the rules and regulations and the venues, everything is done by IOC. It is committed to support and promote participation in sports throughout the world. What all games under Olympics, whether it's a national game, whether it is an international game, or anything which is related to it at a level of district or state, all those games are supported by IOC, and IOC also promotes a lot of participation in games and sports throughout the world. The International Olympic Committee has its headquarters in Lausanne, Switzerland. So this is the image of its headquarters in Lausanne. This is how it looks like. It was created by Pierre de Coubertin on 23rd June 1994. So please underline the date, it is very important. Greek Demetrius Viclas was its first president. So he was the first president. Here it's the picture of Demetrius Viclas. Its membership consists of 105 active members and 32 honorary members. So in total there are 137 members in IOC, out of which 105 are active members who continuously work and 32 members are the honorary members. So, International Olympic Committee organizes the modern Olympic Games held in summer and winter every 4 years. So, as you already know that IOC organizes modern Olympic Games at both Summer Olympics also and Winter Olympics at a gap of 4 years. The Summer Olympic Games by the International Committee were held in Athens, Greece in 1896. So the first Olympic Games which were held was in Greece in 1896, whereas the first Winter Olympic Games were held in Chamonix, France in 1924. So we already know the dates and the venue of the Summer Olympics, and the Winter Olympics, the first Winter Olympics was held in France in 1924. Until 1992, what actually happened was both Winter and Summer Olympics used to held or was organized on the same year. But as this committee was having some problems in planning and organizing both the big events at the same year, so that is why after 1992 they decided to organize these games separately in the separate 2 years, as Winter Olympics is now organized in the even years. So there will be a gap of 2 years at least, because they need to have more time, because Olympics is a very big event, a very big sporting event in which a large number of contestant or the participants come and participate. That is why, just to have more time to plan and more time to organize something such big, that is why they just changed the years of Winter and Summer Olympics. Since 2010, the IOC has started to organize their Summer and Winter Youth Olympics also, as the Summer and Winter Olympics are the open games in which there is no age bar, and at a age of 20, 19 or 30, 35, whatever the age of an individual is, they can participate. But when we talk about Youth Olympics, in this only people, those who are under the age of to 18 years. So till the age of 18 years you can participate in Olympic Games, and the age criteria is between 15 to 18. Only these people can participate in Youth Olympics. So the first Summer Youth Olympics were held in Singapore in 2010, whereas the first Winter Youth Olympics were held in Innsbruck in 2012. Now we are going to talk about the members of the Committee of International Olympics. So the IOC consists of the members from various countries. So the members are from various countries, which constitutes its the president, vice president, executive board, and secretary general. So there will be a president, then the vice president, and the executive board committee, and then the secretary general. So now we are going to have this whole description about the different members. So first is the member which is president. The president of the IOC is elected by its members itself. The president is elected for the term of 8 years. After the expiry of his or her term, he or she can be re-elected. So one can be re-elected all over again by its members only. For example, if one is elected at the year of 2001, so by the year 2009, his or her that term overs. But yes, if the members want him or her to be the president again, say they can again elect him for the same post. The current IOC president is Thomas Bach. So there's a picture of Thomas Bach, and he was the president since 2013. Now the vice presidents. In the IOC, there are 4 vice presidents which are elected. These officials are also elected by the members of the committee. As I told you, there are 137 total members of the committee, and they all come together, vote, and accordingly they decide the presidents and vice presidents. They are elected for a term of 4 years. So there is this small difference that president is there for 8 years and the vice presidents are there for 4 years each. That can be reappointed if members of the committee desire so. So again the same thing, that if the committee wants any one of them or all 4 of them to be the vice president again of that particular committee, then they can again reappoint them as the vice president. Executive board. The IOC executive board consists of the president, 4 vice president, and 10 other members. All the members of the executive board are elected by IOC sessions. All the members of IOC from various countries in a secret ballot by the majority of votes cast. The same way we vote, the same way it goes like that. There is a secret ballot, and you go up behind it and you just vote to whatever member you wanted to vote. And this whole executive board consists of the president, the 4 vice presidents of the committee, 10 other members, and all these members of the executive board are elected by the IOC, and they conduct this session of voting where there is this secret ballot and each and every member goes there and then vote. The IOC executive board is used the journal overall responsibility for the administration of the IOC and the management of its affairs. So this particular committee is responsible for all the things which happen in Olympics, of for example of organizing the game, of deciding the venue and the dates, of deciding the coaching, the trainers, players, criteria, the deciding of they take decisions for what all games to be excluded or included in Olympics. So all these kind of things are done by the executive board of IOC. We are going to discuss about the main functions of IOC. So IOC performs a number of functions which are described below. The first one is the place where Olympics will be organized is decided by this committee. The right to decide the days on which the game will be held also rests with this committee. So as I told you before also, that IOC decides each and everything. IOC decides the place or the venue where the next Olympics are going to be held. Um, like for example, now it will be in Tokyo, though it was in Tokyo. And they also decide the days and the dates, the year, everything is decided by IOC only. For conducting the competitions and general programs for the Olympics, fundamental rules and regulations are set up by this committee. So they also conduct all the competitions, the prior competitions from Olympics, what all is required, the journal programs, so that they can make them other people understand about the rules and regulations. They also set each and every game's rules and regulations also is set by Olympic committee only. What all rules should be there, how the empires will be working, how players are going to work, each and everything is decided by IOC. It also encourages and supports the promotion of ethics in sports as well as the education for youth through sports. So they also encourage to have this ethical values, moral values, which we studied yesterday, in which we studied about the different values which are developed through Olympic or Olympism. So they also encourage it and support the ethical values, the moral values to be developed in the youth, and they also educate people through sports, whether they are kids, whether they are youth. So they try and uh, organize different programs, different seminars, workshops, so that they can spread this knowledge about games and sports. It also ensures the regular conduct of Olympic Games. So they keep this thing in mind that Olympic Games, as it is continuously done for every 4 years, so it should be done on time, on a regular basis. It takes action in order to strengthen the unity and to protect the independence of the Olympic movement. So they don't want anyone else to come or have to create some kind of hindrance or pressurize the sports and games. For example, they don't want any kind of political issues, or they don't want anyone from the political background or anyone who has this power to bring some kind of obstacle or hindrance in their work. So they take actions accordingly. It also acts against any form of discrimination affecting the Olympic movement. So they keep this in mind that discrimination should not be there from any of the country, any of the nation, or any player who is participating in Olympic Games. They themselves try that each and every person from every country, those who are eligible for participating in these games, should come and participate. It encourages and supports the promotion of women in sports at all level. Whatever level it is, they always have supported and encouraged women to participate in these games. It's not only at the international level, but at all the levels in which they have a conduct of in on which they organizes or which are related to Olympic Games. Next, it leads the fight against doping. Doping is taking drugs for, and it is not a fair play. People cheat, people take extra advantage by taking different substances or drug, or they abuse drugs just to have a good performance in the main competitions. So they also work against this doping. It encourages the development of sports for all. So they say that sports is something which is for everyone in the world. So they keep on encouraging it that we need to develop sports, and it is for everyone, if even if it's a young person, even if it's someone of older age, even if it's someone for a different gender, so it is for everyone. It opposes any political or commercial abuse of sports or athletes. So they keep this thing in mind that there should be no hindrance or problem because of any political issues or any commercial abuse which is done by these people, and anything which is creating any kind of problem for the sport or for the athletes, so they keep on keeping a check over it. So the next subtopic is Indian Olympic Association. So these all associations work under IOC only. Each and every country have their own association, Olympic Association. Same way, India also have its own Olympic Association, which is known as IOA, Indian Olympic Association. So IOA was established in 1927. Sir Darobji Jamshedji Tata and Dr. Noren became the founder, president, and secretary general, respectively, of Indian Olympic Association. So it was established in 1927. Underline it in your books or write it somewhere. And Sir Darobji Tata that time was the founder president. So as he was the first president of IOA, so he was the founder president. And Dr. Noren was the secretary general of IOA. IOA is affiliated to IOC, as I told you before, that each and every country has its own Indian Olympic associations, and all of these are affiliated to IOC. So Darobji Tata was also elected the first member in IOC. So he was the first one who was from India who was selected as a member in IOC, in International Olympic Committee. In 1928, Sir Jamshedji Tata resigned from the post of president of IOA. After that, Maharaja Bhupinder Singh became the president of IOA. So in 1928, he left, he resigned from IOA, and after him, Maharaja Bhupinder Singh became the president of IOA. In the Olympic Games in 1928, which were held in Amsterdam, the Indian hockey team was sent to Olympics. So, after the establishment of IOA, Indian hockey team went to Olympic Games as it were held in Amsterdam, and Indian hockey team at that particular time, point of time participated for the first time and won the gold medal. So, this is the team, the very first team of Indian hockey who won gold medal. The election of the office bearers of IOA is held after every 4 years. So all the officials are elected in every 4 years. So these are the council members. There is president, 9 vice presidents, 6 joint secretaries, 1 general secretary, 1 honorary member, 1 treasury, 7 representative of State Olympics Association, and 12 representative of national sports federations and associations. So there is this president, vice president, 9, in IOC it was 4 joint secretaries, and then 7 representative from the state. So every state will also have a Olympic association of its own, because um, if you see it in this way, that Indian Olympic Association would not be able to have a good hold on each and every aspect or each and every field. That is why at lower level also they have small associations of Olympics, so that it can be a better utilization of facilities and everything. Now the objectives of Indian Olympic Association. So the objectives are the development and promotion of Olympic movement. So each and every association works for Olympic movement only, and IOA the same way works to have a development, and they promote Olympic movement. Enforcement of all the rules and regulations of IOC and IOA. So IOA works just to enforce that all the rules and regulations which are made by IOC are to be taken care of. Third is to be the official organization to complete form and responsible for all the matters related to Olympic event. So what all things? For example, for selecting a player who will be participating in Olympic Games, for selecting the coach of that particular team or for that particular player, for the training methods, for the kits, for each and everything, how they are going to go there, what all things will be done. Each and everything is done by IOA, Indian Olympic Association. Promotion and encouragement of the physical, moral, and cultural education of the young people of the nation, so that their character can be developed. They also keep this thing in mind, as it was one function of IOC also, that they promote and they encourage the all over development of the youth of the nation, whether the development is cultural, moral, or physical, through different programs which are held, through different seminars or sporting games, anything which are organized and conducted by IOA, just to have a good development, to spread awareness about different things in the society. So they also work for it. Admitting the membership of the State Olympic Association and National Sports Federation, for which submission of their annual reports and audited statement of accounts is necessary. These documents can be deposited to the IOA for information. So each and everything, for example, when we talk about these small state Olympic associations, that if, for example, we live in Haryana, so Haryana will have its own Olympic Association, and now Haryana government or Haryana Olympic Association will be given funds for each and everything, for taking care of the players, for taking care of the coaches, for maintenance of different facilities of, for example, equipments, grounds which are given to the players who go and participate at international level. So each and everything is to be in written given to IOA by these state Olympic associations. Whatever is there, for example, it might be the budget, it might be the fund, it might be the whole schedule, the plans which they have made, each and everything, all the reports, annual reports, for example, about the improvement of the player or how they are doing each and everything. So all these kind of things in written is given to IOA just to have a good information, so the documents are given forward. Next is to undertake with assistance the national sports federations, the financial management, transportation, maintenance and welfare of teams from India taking part in Olympic Games and other games which are organized under the patronage of IOC. So they take care of each and everything, assist each and everything. Um, in respect of the finance, the money, the funding, the management, how each and everything is to be managed. It might be the management of basic facilities like the grounds, kits, equipment, coaches, each and everything. Transportation, how they are going to, how the players and the coaches will be going from one place to another. The maintenance of different facilities which are given to them. The welfare of the team, that each and everything should be taken care of, all in the participants of all those games and sports which comes under IOC's regulations. Next is to take disciplinary action against any federation for misbehavior on any other undesirable activity bringing discredit to the country. So if there is any team or if there is any member in IOC, IOA or any player whose behavior brings some disrespect or discredit to the country, so they can take this disciplinary action against them. Next, in cooperation with the national federation or association, organize and control selection, training, coaching of the teams that will represent India. So they take care of each and everything, from the selecting of a player, from maintaining their performances, training them, what all coaches to be given to them. Each and everything is organized and controlled by IOA. Next is to enforce and defend the exclusive rights of the association to use the Olympic flag in Olympic insignia. So they also enforce and they defend all the rights which are given to them by IOC. They also respect and they kind of defend the respect of the Olympic flag, how it is to be used, where it is to be used, and anything like emblem, the symbol, the motto, each and everything is taken care of. So this is the end of your chapter today. We will be moving towards the homework now. Homework for today's lecture is question number 1, write a short note on IOA. Question number 2, discuss about the members of committee of IOC. Question number 3, what are the objectives of IOA? Question number 4, what are the functions of IOC? Now the answers of questions from lecture number 3. Question number 1 was, what is the motto of Olympics? Answer is Citius Altius Fortis is the motto of Olympics, which means faster, higher and stronger respectively. Question number 2 was, write any 3 objectives of Olympics. So the objectives are as follows. First one, to pay attention towards physical education and sports competitions in all the countries of the world, to develop personality, character, citizenship, qualities and health among the useful people, formation of good habits among sports persons so that they could lead a healthy and prosperous life. Question number 3 was, discuss the development of friendship and solidarity. So friendship is the Olympiasium provides many opportunities to develop friendship, not only among the participants but among the nations also. When Olympic Games are held, the participants get close to one another and they become friends. Solidarity, The Olympiasium also provides ample opportunities to enhance solidarity. It gives a feeling of brotherhood and unity among various nations. It creates cohesion among the participants as nation. So this is the end of your lecture. Thank you.